Joining us now for the latest on that story is our correspondent Ira Spitzer. A very good evening to you, Ira. As we've just heard, Angela Merkel will be focusing on relations with South Africa. Just how important is this visit and what's likely to come out of the talks between President Jacob Zuma and the German chancellor?
Well, this is a meeting that the German ambassador to South Africa recently described as a meeting of heavyweights. They are heavyweights in their respective regions, Germany in Europe and South Africa on the African continent. So the implications of the meeting between President Zuma and Chancellor Merkel could have very far-reaching implications. Now, as we've been discussing, trade is on the top of the agenda. So I would imagine that Chancellor Merkel will look to have some sort of assurances of the ability of German companies to continue to do the kind of business that they've been able to do in South Africa, which is very important. Over 600 German companies invested in South Africa. They've expressed some concern back in 2013. As expected, the bilateral investment protection agreement was suspended. Now, that hasn't really hurt business, but again, German companies looking for just some assurances that they'll be able to continue as such. And they'll also be discussing global issues, climate change, the migrant crisis. So really a wide range of issues on the table here between these very important world leaders.
Ira, we see a lot of German tourists visiting South Africa every year. Are ordinary Germans curious about this visit?
Yeah, this visit has attracted a lot of attention here in South Africa. Of course, it is a destination that is on the map here in Germany because of tourism and as well as the economic ties between the two countries. So people here, as well as the media here, are starting to focus in on what is the first official state visit of President Zuma. Now, as I understand it, these leaders have met before in the past at the 2010 World Cup, as well as before Mr. Zuma was president. But this will be the first time that they really have a chance to discuss official business at a state meeting.
Ira, they're expected to review a wide range of issues. Has Germany given any indication of its ambitions with South Africa?
Well, the German government hasn't said too much in advance of this meeting. We've heard from different analysts and things of that nature, but it's not really clear exactly what the Germans would be expecting out of this meeting. Now, one interesting thing that I was talking to an analyst about recently is that Germany may have something to learn from South Africa about what is a huge crisis here, and that is the migrant crisis. Of course, South Africa has a long experience of taking in both refugees and economic migrants, and in many ways perhaps has been able to integrate them faster into the labor market than Germany has. So that could be an interesting topic of conversation between these two leaders.
That was our correspondent coming to us live from Berlin, Ira Spitzer.